Thabo Mbeki's campaign comeback a massive boost for ANC. Here's why. The return of former President Thabo Mbeki on the campaign trail dropped jaws on Thursday after a decade of not being an active member. Many question his comeback, while others appreciate it more because he is seen as a leader who would uplift the spirit of people. Despite his criticism of the current leadership and the delay in joining the trail, Mbeki said he was committed and obliged to campaign for the ANC. As a senior member of the ANC, I am obliged to support the party and ensure that it remains in power post-elections, he said during the campaign in Soweto on Thursday. The ANC is currently under pressure and trying to regain the trust of supporters by throwing in the heavyweights to the campaign to activate the support base of the party ahead of the elections. The 2024 national and provincial elections will be held on May 29th, a month from now. The likes of former President Kgalema Motlanthe will also be campaigning for the ANC. The ANC has suffered a loss of support in recent years because it failed to deliver on promises made to the people. Some of the promises include housing, healthcare services, water and electricity supply, as well as better life for all. Speaking of IOL, Onga Mamtimka, a lecturer and political analyst at the Department of History and Political Studies at Nelson Mandela's University, said Mbeki's comeback is a massive boost for the party. According to Mtimka, the first major loss in the ANC came from an election following the recall of Mbeki and the breakaway of a faction of the ANC to form COPE. If there is an impression created by within the party and Mbeki, there has been finding one another that can work well for the ANC, he said. Mtimka said the reason why Mbeki buried his concerns and joined the trail was because there was communication between the party and veterans who voiced their opinions on the leadership. Asked about the ANC's strategy of introducing veterans as a way of retaining power, the analyst explained that emerging victorious was another means because the new parties have tapped into the support base. The ANC is facing two splinter parties who have come into the electoral space in the last 10 years, and both of them are not formed by politically lightweight people. So their campaigning may not result in a victory above 50%, but it helps to negate the loss of support that the ANC is going to get, he said. Recently, a recent survey conducted in South Africa's 3 major metros has indicated that the EFF and Jacob Zuma's MK party will be big players in the elections. Despite the challenges facing his party, former ANC President Thabo Mbeki has reiterated his concerns about the ruling party's leadership in governance but asserted his unwaveringly support, saying, "I have not changed my mind, I'm campaigning." Last year, while delivering the eulogy at the memorial service for his friend and former Foreign Affairs Minister Aziz Bahad, hosted by the ANC at the University of Johannesburg, Mbeki launched a scathing attack on President Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC, saying the renewal project has been all talk and no action or plan. "I have not put aside my concerns when the people say they are unhappy about ANC. Those concerns are genuine and we must attend to them," Mbeki said during the campaign. "That's why when I say vote ANC to the people, I'm making commitment to say that we will attend to the problems with the party itself." Mbeki also emphasized the significance for party members, including taking responsibility and acknowledging the years of state capture instead of blaming each other. Despite Mbeki being not committal about whether he would campaign for the governing party or not, he eventually agreed that he would campaign as he was obliged to do so. Mbeki returned to the ground years later to ensure that the ANC secured a decisive victory in the 2024 national and provincial elections. He led the party's campaign trials in Soweto, Johannesburg on Thursday, promising people that the ANC will deliver on its pledges. Speaking of the media, Mbeki said as the senior member, he was obliged to support the party and ensure that it remained in power after the elections. Mbeki urged the people to vote for the ANC on May 29th. Heavyweights on the ground as former President Thabo Mbeki is expected to lead the African National Congress ANC's campaign trial in Soweto, Gauteng, ahead of the 2024 national and provincial elections. The former ANC Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe will also be seen on the campaign trails. This is as the ruling party is beefing and ramping up its campaign before the election. Rolling out party veterans is part of the ANC's strategy to remain in power. The ANC said this is aimed to encourage citizens to vote of the ANC and galvanizing the various communities leading up to the poll. The ANC has been on a strong campaign trail since last year in preparation for the polls. During the trails, the party has promised citizens a better life for all, jobs, businesses, water, as well as electricity. This is despite Mbeki being non-committal about whether he would campaign for the government party or not, but eventually agreed that they would campaign as he was obliged to do so. Last year, while delivering the eulogy at the memorial service for his friend and former Foreign Affairs Minister Aziz Pahad, hosted by the ANC at the University of Johannesburg, Mbeki took a swipe at President Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC, saying the renewal project has been all talk and no action and plan. Mbeki said that the party resolution to renew itself was taken at its 2017 elective conference, but again has been done. Furthermore, the ANC expressed confidence that it will be done and no one to govern the country. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.